Hey loves, my name is Kyle August and I'm here to help you manifest in the quickest and easiest way possible. And I have a topic here for you today that's going to help if you're feeling stuck or struggling with manifesting your specific person and not really seeing the results that you want. Because there's a simple idea that we can do to shift this and then create the change that we may have not been seeing previously. See your specific person show up in the exact way you want, see them become irresistible to you, act basically overwhelmed with love for you. So the main thing that we usually think during a manifestation, right? We really want to change our external reality. That's our thought process most of the time. With any manifestation, our thought process first goes, I need to change this thing that is outside of me. But sometimes if we actually begin to think that too much, we take the power that is residing within us and we actually put it onto our external reality. We then become or start to wait for things to alter in our external reality before we actually begin to feel them internally. And you probably know exactly where I'm going with this, because if you didn't notice, that is the exact opposite of what we actually want to do in manifestation, right? The feeling is always going to come first. Our assumptions always begin internally and then get reflected onto our external reality. And that is any sort of assumption that you're going to have, especially we're talking specifically about a specific person, but anything we're assuming on them, we are going to see reiterated automatically outside of us. And again, we kind of use that if we're in this kind of too long and we're kind of really putting our mind and effort or energy outside of us, we can see that we actually begin to run through cycles where we see the same exact thing happen over and over and over again. And this usually is like with on and off relationships, or maybe even you've seen the cycle where you and your specific person kind of come together and then something happens and you kind of separate, and then again it repeats. You guys come together through your assumptions and then you get together and again separate again. But that's because we're kind of getting adjusted or getting very comfortable in assumptions that we actually do not want to have. But remember, it all begins and ends with where we are putting our mental attention and where we are putting our focus. Again, remember, your assumptions are infinitely more powerful than anything that is happening outside of you. You actually should never trust in anything outside of you to give you indication if you are manifesting correctly or not. If you are feeling that internal state change, you are going to see exactly what you desire outside of you. There's literally no doubt about that. But the thing that we want to do then, if you are kind of feeling this, feeling stuck or feeling struggling to actually change or alter your external reality, remember that instead of having the thought that you want to change your specific person, I want you to have and I'm talking about like feelings, thoughts, actions, like we feel like we need to change them from a state of not loving us into a state of loving us. But again, that's how we kind of get mixed up with those internal emotions. Instead, what I want you to do, and you're going to get 1 billion times more results in this way, I want you to focus on you and your internal state and focus on becoming and feeling the person who is absolutely irresistible to your specific person. Focus on you becoming the person that is loved by your specific person. How does that person act? How does that person think? What does that person believe? How do they sit? How do they stand? How do they walk? Matching that physiology, can't say it right. Matching that physiology is going to induce your belief system to take on that belief. Because you've heard me say this before, the absolute quickest way to have any state change is going to be a physiological one. So if you're ever feeling down, look at how your kind of body is, right? And our beliefs and our assumptions are kind of matching or manifesting outside of us. But if we can change and alter that and act in accordance to what we want, as Neville Goddard would say, we will see our beliefs begin to change. So let's say you're kind of feeling down. Notice your kind of posture. You're going to be like closed off, right? And what is this going to do to our beliefs and our thoughts? They're all going to align with that. The same technique I told you guys, in which if you're just smiling, you put on a fake smile, you begin to reiterate that belief of your subconscious thinks, well, I didn't think we were that happy, but we're smiling for a reason, so we must be that happy. Let's induce this assumption and change our reality, right? It works kind of in both ways because we have that system of beliefs, thoughts and then our actions kind of in that outline, and they're all interconnected, I guess you would say, and they feed off of each other. So acting in accordance, even if you do want to feel it as well. Feeling is the whole point of it, but allow those actions to kind of support those assumptions and support those beliefs. So right now, again, find and imagine that version of you that is absolutely irresistible to your specific person. Look at imagine how they would think, how they would feel, how they would just how do you go to the grocery store as someone who is irresistible to your specific person? How do you message them? How do you wake up? How do you go to bed? I know a lot of these ideas seem very trivial, but they are going to produce massive results. I literally guarantee you, because doing all those, we can find that we need some sort of congruency with the way we're thinking and then the way we're acting. If we're having and that's kind of why you can have affirmations that kind of make you feel worse, as Joseph Murphy would talk about it. He states that sometimes if we really state something we're not really feeling or believing, it can actually do the opposite effect. We need some sort of congruency with the way we're feeling and then the way we're acting. That's kind of like a mixed neuroassociation, in which if you're viewing your specific person as someone who really just makes you so angry, but it's the person that you want the most, right? This may sound very familiar, but with that idea, your subconscious mind doesn't know, so do we go towards that thing or away from that thing? So if you're feeling abundant, positive, irresistible, but all your actions are countering against that, your subconscious mind and your assumptions are kind of mixed up and they don't align, and you feel weird or feel odd or feel bad, right? But in this case, again, we want to, instead of attempting to change our specific person, to make them love us, we internally feel loved by them and become the person who is absolutely irresistible to them. We change internally. It's kind of that same metaphor in which I mentioned you are the tree, and giving off of you is fruit, and those are the manifestations. You would never focus on the fruit when it came to your the health of the tree, or to create better fruit, you would focus on the tree. You'd water it, give it more sunlight, give it better soil, right? So that's you. You need to focus on you internally. Whenever we begin to place the power outside of us, that's when we run into problems and we get into a state of waiting or hoping that our external reality is going to change, rather than taking the power and exhibiting that ultimate superpower within you to change and alter your entire reality to exactly what you want. And if this idea doesn't instantly kind of click with you and you're like, yeah, but I still kind of think upon my external reality, that's perfectly fine, because we're trying to kind of program our subconscious or get us into the state of thinking and feeling from that end, right? Our first response when we see something in our external reality is to fix it, go out and look at it. That thing needs to change, right? If we see our specific person not calling us, texting us, wanting to hang out with us every day, we think we need to change them. There's something wrong with them. We need to exert energy and effort to change that thing, rather than focusing on how we're feeling, how we're thinking, or what we're assuming internally is actually the cause of that. But again, you need to get into the habit of it, because again, anytime we understand or run into problems in the past in our external reality, we always want to take action. We always want to do that. But manifestation, you don't have to take action. You don't have to worry. You don't have to have anxiety. You don't have to think twice about it. You internally are controlling each and everything that's happening around you. So take that power and actually go to the source. Go look inside of you. Your assumptions, I cannot state this enough, are creating your reality. And the only reason your specific person isn't showing up in the way that you want is because we are not believing it. And as soon as we believe it and we feel it and we assume as if it has already happened, you are going to see your external reality and your specific person shift to exactly that assumption that you're feeling. Because right now, I can almost guarantee you, every way and every waking moment, everything that you're seeing around you is a product of your imagination. It's a product of those assumptions that you're having, whatever you're assuming it to be. So switch that, tweak it, again in this way. It sounds so simple. All these ideas are like so simple, and they create massive results, because that's what I talk about in every single video, making manifestation easy and effortless. It truly is that easy and effortless. We just kind of overcomplicate it and think, well, to get something that fantastic or great, don't I have to work hard for it? No, you don't. You do not have to work hard for what you want. You are entitled and deserving of everything you could ever ask for. You were born that way. You don't have to get there. It's not something that you win over. You always have that. You are meant to be with your specific person. You are meant to have the $1 billion. You are meant to have the perfect job. You are meant to travel. You are meant to have literally fill in the blank with anything that you want. You are meant to have that. Never, ever forget that. And I'm just wagging my fingers in your face. Don't forget that 100%. And if you need a reminder, reach out to me, because I would love to remind you of the amazing power that is within you right now. Try that out and let me know how you think. Again, so we don't want to change. We're not changing our external reality. We're changing our current assumptions, and that results in the byproduct of changing your reality. So don't focus on changing your specific person. Focus on like making them love you. That's the idea. Focus more on changing or becoming the feeling, encompassing that feeling of being married to them, being in love with them, basically having that perfect relationship with them. Also, a quick reminder, don't get this confused, because many times I talk about like changing characteristics. That's again an assumption. So the byproduct of our assumptions is changing our reality. So don't think that you can't do that, because you absolutely can, but it all begins and ends internally. So I can't wait for you guys to try this out. If you did have any questions on it, leave it in the comments section below. And then like I mentioned, if you need a reminder or you want to reach out to me, head over to my website, which is kyleaugustcoaching.com. If you really enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and then don't forget to subscribe so I can take you along the journey to manifesting your specific person easily and effortlessly. Thank you so much for watching today. I absolutely love this journey that we are going along together, and I can't wait to see you next time.